Hello everyone, I am going to be shooting a quick video here to share with you a really amazing insight that I received from this beautiful soul. Her name is Anna. She's the founder of Healing Art of Awareness. And she, in one of her weekend immersions, shared with me a drawing, shared with our group, I should say, a drawing of the levels of consciousness. And I just thought she did such a spectacular job of explaining something that can be very complex, especially if you're a spiritual seeker like myself. You've probably read a million books and you're trying to understand the map of our brain and how it all works. And I just found the simplicity in this drawing to be so insightful and helpful in my own journey as far as learning to detach from my mind and my body, to tap into this kind of oneness and these different states of non-duality. And so I thought it would be interesting if I took a stab at sharing this drawing, this map of consciousness with you, in hopes that this also supports you in your journey. So here we go. I'm going to switch over here to my iPad. So the way that she walked us through this process is things you're probably familiar with. We all have a body. Yay! We have a body, and we have, by the way, don't hold me accurate to like the perfection of my drawings, right? Here is our brain, right? So we have a brain and a body. You're probably familiar with that. This is where our consciousness journey begins, right? You'll hear practitioners who go at it from the lens of how do you tune into your mind, and how do you, there's, for example, a Zen practice that I'm personally a part of called Big Mind, which helps talk to the different levels of our mind, like the analyst, the controller, the seeker, and helps us kind of keep going backwards and backwards and backwards into different states of our mind. But it's a very mind intellectual type of focused mindfulness practice. Then you have a lot of body mindfulness practices. So tuning into, in Eckhart Tolle, he calls it the inner body. So tuning into kind of, the spaces of our heart. Heart Math does that. There's a lot of practices out there to get into the space of our bodies. So body and mind. In all and most teachings, there is what I'm going to put it actually right here. She drew it a little differently, but this made a little more sense for me. I'm going to choose orange. And what's called the witness. If you're a fan of Michael Singer's work, as I am, the one practice he really talks most about in his surrender experiment and many of his other books is to be the witness. So what does that mean? As the witness, you are observing your mind. You are observing, you're actually through. The reason I'm choosing, by the way, to draw it here versus, I think in her initial way she explained it was from the mind, is because I find that you can tap into this witness, whether you choose to access it through your inner body or through kind of body scanning and dropping into that state. You can get into the witness, but you can also come through it through a mindfulness practice. So really the witness is a state that is beyond the mind, beyond the body, that is observing what is happening. What are the thoughts that are happening? What are the feelings? What are the sensations? What are the the deep presence practices? It's non-attached to the brain, not attached to the body, but witnessing, observing as a kind of a neutral, I'll put the word neutral, as a neutral observer of everything. Now, once you've gotten into the witness state of consciousness, there's what's kind of like this gray space if you really get deep in meditation. And this is kind of the no state, if you will, of a nothingness. You get into almost like a void. It's spacious. And all of a sudden, you are no longer there. What do I mean by that? It means your mind is no longer there. Your body is no longer there. You've kind of surpassed the witnessing of both of those things, right? And you are just almost floating in this spacious experience, is how I've heard it described. I have personally tapped into, I'm really building what I'll say kind of the muscle right here. This is a muscle building skill set to tune into, either through practices like presencing. Let's see, so you can do this through like deep presencing. You can do this through practice of surrender, releasing, which is kind of a surrender process, releasing thoughts, non-attachment. There's so many different ways to tune into Oh, sorry guys, my face is in your way. Present surrender, releasing thoughts, but tuning into and building this muscle right here of the witness. From the witness in deep meditative states, you can tune into this no state or this void state, which is very peaceful, which is very relaxing because you're no longer there. You're just kind of floating in space, and there's a lot of insights that can emerge from here. But really the final state, as she described it, is, and I'm going to draw this as yellow, is what's called kind of like oneness. Let's do this. So this is, also called God state. I am, and then it's this oneness. And from here is where it's, unconditional love. You have feelings of just everything is one. You are seeing, and it's called God state or I am, because you are one with everything. So whereas in this kind of gray area, it's a void, you are no longer there. From there, you can tap into, and I've heard testimonials from people who have, almost bypassed this void state and gone straight from the witness into here, which is possible. But usually it kind of happens in this kind of almost chronological order. You're identified with mind or body, you go into witness, you go into this void, and then from void, you can really deeply surrender into a God state. So I wanted to share this quick drawing with you because it was super helpful in my own journey of meditation and consciousness studies, but also the integration of my own practices to kind of understand where am I tuning in and tapping into these different states. One other thing I'll throw in, based on a recent conversation I had with my own spiritual mentor, which was talking about this idea of channeling or flow states. So if you've ever heard that described as a flow state, or for those who are channelers, what happens when you're in a channeling state is you are no longer there, right? You're completely surrendered, you're open to receiving, you're getting insight from source. And I see the way I kind of understand it is that's happening when you're tuning into these God states, I am states, oneness. Because when you're here, you're really once again not there. And you're a channel, you're receiving insights, wisdom, concepts, and really just this felt sense, this visceral sense of something greater than self, and you are channeling or pushing through this energy. So healers, energy workers are able to tap into this oneness. What I'm fascinated by, once again, building the muscle. So I'm kind of like playing in this zone over here, right? But I'm building this muscle of getting into the witness state, which is a fantastic way for a day-to-day practice. If you're interested, happy to chat further with you. You can reach out to me. And then through meditation, coming into this non-dual, or this non-dual state into, once again, oneness. So that's my fun little drawing for you today, my little insight. I hope it's resonating to some degree, probably maybe sparking curiosity. Maybe you're sitting here like I did when I saw that. I went, oh my God, this is amazing. There's some there's some ordering to this sense. And at the same time, just trusting our intuition. Maybe you're having a completely different experience, which I would love to learn from you as well. This was just so supportive in my journey, and I wanted to pay it forward and gift it to you. So look forward to hearing your feedback in the comments below. And as always, feel free to reach out and share with me your stories of impact. I'll see you guys soon.